Greetings all, Il Grinnell here with True Speak, bringing you the All Things Happy and Healthy vlog again. Welcome back. Last week we began the tip of the iceberg of purging and sorting and spring cleaning and moving. And as you all know, the longer you live somewhere, the more challenging it is to move. And so I did have people ask me about books. Yeah, books are really challenging for a lot of us. They're like our children almost. We become very attached to them, and they weigh a lot. So when you move, you must must start with your books. So I'm just going to backpedal just a little bit in talking about books and how you kind of make those decisions. So I have books that I feel are my reference books, right? So like Ask and It Is Given, the Esther Hicks book, and my mom's devotional Bible, and certain other books that I do use regularly, and I do pull them off the shelf and I do open them up. Yes, they are available online, and yes, I could have digital versions, but for those of you who are book lovers, nothing will ever compare to holding a book in your hand and physically flipping through the pages. It helps anchor the information a whole lot easier. And then the hardest part of books, so I have books, stories that I love. Love this story, love this story. Lots of books, love the story. And, I've read them probably a couple times through. And so these are the ones that need to go, and this should be your largest pile. Why? Because somebody else deserves that story. And as long as you're holding on to it, you're not sharing it. So think of it as sharing and making the world a better place when you're giving away those books, stories that you love, but you have read several times, and you could give the premise of it to somebody if they were interested in it. That's how well you know it. And then, of course, I must keep all of my books. I have 3. My other ones are already boxed up because I do autograph these when people buy them. And that's the other thing. I do keep books that are autographed to me, and I don't have a lot of them, and they do mean a lot to me. Okay, so that's my little take on books. And please donate them to the library. They're more likely to be used. The worst place to donate them to is like a Salvation Army or sometimes a Goodwill. They literally throw books away regularly, and that is heartbreaking. Okay, so see if your library will take them, or if they're children's books, a youth center or a shelter or something like that. So get them into good hands. Okay, moving on. I told you that we were going to talk a little bit about the psychology behind it all. And so what happens is people who have trouble purging and sorting generally have very often come from poverty, and where there was a time when you didn't have enough. And if you kind of have that not enough mindset, it's difficult to purge and sort. So the way to overcome that psychologically is to sit in a place of gratitude. So as you're touching your things, you're going to kind of Marie Kondo it a little bit, right? So you're going to hold it physically, and you're going to ask yourself if it still brings you joy, makes you happy, lights you up, right? So for me, that's photo albums. My photo albums are coming with me. Yes, they're heavy, but I do use them. I do open them. I do hold them, and they just light me up. Okay, so but otherwise, we're talking shoes or clothes or office supplies or whatever. If they don't light you up and they just don't bring you tons of joy, and you haven't looked at them recently, or you forgot you even had them, then they need to be donated. So donation is a great thing to do. It's keeping the cycle going. It's keeping stuff out of landfills. And if you can, make sure that you kind of research where they're going so that they go to really good places, right? So all my office supplies are going to the Salvation Army because they have a training center there. So it's not going to be donated to the store. It's going to be donated to the training center. I hope all of that makes sense. So the psychology behind purging and sorting is to get in that place of gratitude and look at all that you have and the wonderful abundance of it all, and then get into the flow of giving and receiving. So as you begin to release these things, what I'm finding is I physically feel lighter. It's crazy. I feel like I weigh less. I have more energy. I didn't realize, because I've lived here 18 years, how much I actually had. And so when you're spring cleaning, I would say pick your bedroom is a good place, the bathroom, places where you spend a lot of time. You'll lighten up what's known as the chi, right? And the energy can flow easier. You can clear the dust, which will help you breathe easier and sleep better at night. So there's a lot of benefits to doing this. You can go back and watch my interview with Kitty. She's a declutter expert, and she was on one of my vlogs a while back. Okay, so the psychology again is to get in the space of gratitude instead of approaching something and go, man, I have so much. Stop. Take a breath, look at everything you have and say, I have abundance, and now it's time to share my abundance. And I'm making it sound easier than it is. I know that, but you're just getting one action for today, and that is sitting in your abundance, giving gratitude for it, and then sharing that abundance by donating. Some things do need to be thrown away, I agree, or sharing with somebody. Okay, so one more next week on how to get it all done. My original estimate was $12,900 to move my things, and that's what inspired these vlogs that you're seeing. Okay, so I've got one more for you next week, the triad, and let me know how it's going. Where are you purging and sorting? How is it feeling? How's it going for you? Okay, so until next week, stay happy and healthy, my friends. Aloha.